having humanity for yourself and reminding yourself, like, you don't have to be this, you don't have to be like what they expect you to be. Just be you. Just have, like, remind yourself that you are only human. You can only be so many things. Mm-hmm.
Hey Wildcats, my name is Nicole Camacho. I'm here with my co-host today, Rebecca Ursula. We also have a special guest today. Her name is Katrina Marie Batac.
Hi.
Can you please introduce yourself, what you're majoring in? Are you in any clubs or anything that you're interested in?
Hi, my name is Katrina Batac. I'm majoring in medicine, and right now I am only in the University of Arizona's HOSA club.
Thank you so much for coming here and having a conversation with us and empowering students here at the University of Arizona. So our first question for you is, what do you do as a student at the University of Arizona, and why are you passionate about your academic and leadership involvements?
So, as I stated before, I study medicine. I'm very passionate about my involvement because I personally believe that I poured bits and pieces of my soul into pretty much everything I have achieved. And overall, I just really like having a positive impact on everyone.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on our platform today. So as a Filipino American immigrant and first in your family pursuing a career in healthcare, how has your upbringing shaped your perspective on education, leadership, and resilience so far?
Thank you. Personally, I feel like my upbringing and leadership and education are all very intertwined with each other. And they're all based on the notion of marching to the beat of your own drum. Mm-hmm. I did most things independently, so I learned like lessons on my own because my parents were often busy. Teachers were often busy with other students as well. I was in other classes, like they would do English as a second language stuff on me, but personally, I come from a culture that already speaks English, so I dealt with stuff like that. And overall, it's just, I struggled a lot with finding myself as a person. Mm-hmm.
So how is the experience so far coming from a whole new different country to America here at the University of Arizona? How has it been, and have you seen like students welcoming you and being part of some communities here?
Oh my goodness, the culture whiplash is so insane. I remember getting off the plane, and then the first thing I see and say to myself is the fact that the sky is very blue. From where I come from, the skies are not blue. They're like gray.
Yeah.
Because of all the pollution, and it was like a very physical testament of how life was going to be very different for me. Mm-hmm. And thankfully, I got enrolled into a school where the students were generally welcoming. But it's not in the sense of where like everyone was wanting to be my friend, because I feel like it has to do with the fact that I'm also a person of color, and the school is very white dominant. Mm-hmm. And so often I would have only like other Asian kids come up to me and be friends with me, and I would just have like one or two friends every year, and I was okay with that actually.
That's beautiful. So how about the professor when it comes to the professional side? Have they been helpful to you so far?
I would say so, yeah. I've had a lot of advisors that I feel like believe in me a lot. I've even also had advisors that kind of come from the same background as me, which is very, very comforting to me, at least. I haven't met a mentor figure that also comes from another country, so hopefully I would have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I think it would be a very good thing. One thing that I find is that most of them, like when they're trying to match you with the advisors or people to help you out, they try to look for somebody in your specific background, which it's really cool because you feel that you're comfortable around those people. But I think also if the school can work on kind of like giving up like advisors from different backgrounds so that you can also learn something new from another background. Because you come from your background and you want to learn something new, and that's why you left your country, of course, to come and learn something new. But when you come here again, they again try to match you with somebody who's just like you. Right? So how's that's gonna be helpful to you? But I think it's something that the school has to work on, and not only this school, but overall, like most schools always try to kind of match you with somebody who's just exactly like you. And I find that to be something like disturbing and also interesting because I want to learn something new, and you're trying to match me with somebody who's like exactly like me, and I'm like, no, that doesn't work out. And so what I try to do is I try to find out my own mentors because then if I go through the whole process, they're gonna match me with somebody who's exactly like me. I'm like, I don't want that. And so I reach out to professors by myself. I'm like, hey sir, can we meet at this and this time? I'll have some specific questions I want to ask you because I want to learn something new, and that's what I'm here for, right? Yeah. But I'm glad that you're really kind of finding it like not so disturbing, but you're like kind of finding new opportunities, and you're involved as well, which is really cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing that you came from a whole different country to America. Was there any challenge that you have to overcome, and how did you overcome that challenge?
Okay, first of all, it's a lot of social issues with me. I used to be a very shy child, and I had trouble reaching out and voicing what I truly need. So as I said before, I was a very independent kid, and if I didn't get a concept in class, I would be very shy and, of course, not tell the teacher, and I would research YouTube tutorials by myself, like how to do addition, like first grade. And yeah, I would just try to like listen in on everything else that was going on. There was this one experience where I came up to my first grade teacher and asked where the CR is. And in my home country, the CR means comfort room, the bathroom. I really wanted to go to the bathroom. And she looked at me like I don't know, like I grew two heads, and she was like, "What's a CR, Katrina?" And I was like, I don't know how else to explain it, like toilet, restroom. And then after like I said restroom, she was just like, "Oh, it's over there." Like she points it out to me. And honestly, it was one of the other very defining points in my evolution of trying to assimilate here. Different terms for different things. I would try to honestly step out of my comfort zone a lot to learn from friends. I find that's the most easiest part, unironically, because they would teach you things like, oh, this word means this, this is the slang, this is what kids are getting. And yeah, that's very helpful to me.
Was there anything that when you came here, you were all like, what? I didn't even know what that was. Was there anything like that caused you that emotion?
Honestly, many things. So I remember when I was 13, I booked a flight to the East Coast to visit my other relatives, my aunt, in North Carolina. And okay, we didn't really go to North Carolina. We went to Virginia as a vacation. And oh my goodness, the way people stared at me when we were just walking down the street, it's like you thought we did something like outlandish. No, we were just walking. And then people were like straight up like whipping their heads around. I was amazed. Like I almost broke down in the car. Like it wasn't a good type of stare, but it's like they weren't saying anything either, so there's no proof that they were saying anything bad in their head. But that was one of my moments where it's like, hey, I didn't know they did that here. Like,
you've spoken about the idea of being comfortable, being uncomfortable. What does that mean to you, and how has it influenced you in your advocacy and leadership journey?
Okay, so one of the earliest examples I could think of was before we took the the plane flight to the United States. I got really sick and I was hospitalized for an allergy, and I got so sick to the point where they had to put an IV on my wrist, and they had to inject fluids into me because I was so sick. And the nurse was doing their daily checkup on me and seeing what I need, like checking my vitals, injecting more dextrose into me. But the thing is, the way she did it really hurt. Like, she would grab my hand and she would like just jam the needle in there in the tube, and then I would be like, ow, like, aren't you supposed to be gentle?
Yeah.
And so one day I told her, like, hey, can I try doing the needle? And then she surprisingly let me do it. She just positioned the needle, and then I would push with my finger. And to this day, I just I have a picture of it, and I treasure that picture so often because it was one of the more monumental moments of my life where I actually spoke up and voiced my needs. And I think that bled into my leadership skills as an adult. I learned to be diplomatic with what I need in my personal and professional life without being unkind.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that, because when we see that the medical team, the professions, we think that always they'll be gentle. There's a certain way of standards that they have to possess. But sometimes they're humans as well, they make mistakes. And so I'm glad that even if that was happening to you, you were able to speak up and be like, this is how it's supposed to be done because I'm hiding. I'm a human,
Right.
And congratulations on co-founding the Philippines HOSA Club. So what is the HOSA department all about here at the University of Arizona?
Okay, so for HOSA, the acronym actually stands for Health Occupation Students of America, but we don't really go by that anymore because obviously we're not just in America right now. So we go by HOSA-FHP, which is Future Health Professionals, and we specialize in medical competitions. They're just for fun, but you can earn like medals, and we also do volunteer hours. You can do clinical volunteer hours, and we also give out scholarships to people who fit certain criterias. Like, for example, if you complete 500 hours of volunteer hours, you get this scholarship, and so on. There's many of them in the organization. And what I do really love the most about it is not the competition aspect of itself. Well, I do enjoy that competition aspect. I'm a very competitive person, but I really like the connections that I've made in the group. Through the group, I met tons of other students kind of similar to me and also very different from me. And it's very refreshing to see people from all walks of life to talk to and learn more from.
That's so beautiful. I know there's so many other international students,
right?
Who comes here at the University of Arizona to study and do different fields, but they are also like looking at these different clubs. Not only this, but also like there's so many other clubs around campus and other organizations, and have these cool ideas. They want to start these clubs also like in their home countries,
right?
So how did you start the chapter in the Philippines?
Okay, I started it with this girl that I met at an international competition. We were in Texas, and we kind of said to ourselves, like, one day we were just like, hey, why isn't the Philippines flag up on that podium? And everyone else had their flag. There's like Canada, there's Mexico, there's even Puerto Rico. And we were just like, hey, we want the Philippines flag up there. And we just kept talking about it. Like, I think it would be such a good idea if like other Filipino students would experience this kind of thing in their life. And then eventually we met someone that had the connections and had introduced us to other people that could make that dream happen. And we got the paper signed, and here we are now.
Oh, that's beautiful and incredible. Most of the time when people have ideas, they always say that just journal it down, then you have to research. But I think the most important thing is also like to talk about it. Speak it with other people. If you have realized there is something that you really want to do, speak it with a friend and talk about it. And here you are, you guys have just like started dates, which is really cool. And you're so far impacting over 5 schools. That is really incredible because you just talked about an idea and it came to reality. So how has these experiences so far shaped who you are, challenged you, and how have they helped you to grow as a leader?
Oh yes, it changed me so much. I didn't think it would change me so much, especially in the span of 1 year, because we started in November 2024, I believe. And before starting it, I was kind of like on the iffy side. In HOSA, I did biomedical debate for, I guess, my first year of being here. And that was just my way of saying, like, I don't want to be this shy person anymore. I actually want to be out there and inspire people to do good stuff. And the Philippines HOSA comes around, and I get the news, like, hey, we can finally start reaching out to schools, and I feel like that kind of evolved me into this this mentor-like figure, because I didn't really have that in me before that. It was just kind of here and there. I would just like advise other like underclassmen below me to like, this is what you do in this class. But this is the first time I've been able to mentor actual high school students, and honestly I really like that, because it's like guiding the youth to do good stuff, and that's kind of what I like to do.
Yeah, and I love that as well, because being around young people always gives you a lot of energy.
I know.
They're enthusiastic about issues. They want to change that stuff. They have solutions. And they're like, what can we do? And they just have that energy around them.
Right. Yeah. And some of them, they have so like very profound things to say that you can't really get from older folks that didn't really like, they haven't been empowered to speak about those, or like they've been suppressed. But the younger generation, I feel like they're more outspoken nowadays, which is very refreshing from the atmosphere I grew up in, where it's just like, shh, you gotta keep quiet.
That's true. They're so assertive as well. And sometimes like they come up with ideas. They don't care how you're gonna like how you're gonna react. It's just an idea. But when it's come to like mature folks, they're like, okay, I have to be organized in a certain way. But when you're around the young people, you have lots of great ideas around.
Right.
Yeah, we are all first year or first generation students. Yeah. I can speak for myself, but I have experienced imposter syndrome and feeling like we don't belong here as a first generation. So what struggles have you faced in that area, and what advice would you give to students who are experiencing that?
Yes, imposter syndrome is such a prevalent part of my life. I feel like it's very intrinsically tied with my personality, especially when I was very shy. And I still kind of grapple with it to this day, especially as a pre-med. It feels like everybody around me is just so ahead and I can't ever catch up. But I'm trying to dispel that this year. I don't want to think like that anymore. But my advice is just to keep your humanity in all of it. It's just like as a person of color, a woman of color, you're like, you have so many issues surrounding your identity. It's like you're underestimated, you're at times disrespected, and at the same time, you're also expected to perform like way above your peers, and it's just too much. Like it's just clashing. It's not good. But my advice goes back to having humanity, not just for other people being just killing them with kindness, but having humanity for yourself and reminding yourself, like, you don't have to be this, you don't have to be like what they expect you to be. Just be you. Just have, like, remind yourself that you are only human. You can only be so many things.
Yeah, I think it's very hard, especially when you're in a class setting and everyone's raising their hand and you're just like, should I raise my hand too? It's very hard, and I am so proud of you because you made this HOSA organization that's already in 5 different schools, and it just started last year. So I just want to say that I'm proud of you for all of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Catherine, for being with us today. This has been so inspirational for you to come here and speak with us. We have so many international students going through so much, and what you have shared earlier is like when they just kind of connecting you to an advisor, it's really feels so bad and frustrating. They're just like looking at like your same circle, bringing you back to your same circle, and yet they expect you to be better and they expect you to be above and beyond other peers, which is really so hard. And for just like somebody coming just from a whole different background and coming to this country, it's also like another, new challenge and a new experience of your life. So thank you so much for being with us. We hope to see you again in our future conversations, and we also have a student panel coming up, and we hope that you'll be with us.
Thank you.